Hey, listen, right? It was good while it lasted for Jake, okay? It was good while it lasted. Not gonna last much longer. You're fat, Jake.
Recently, Mike Tyson launched a scathing attack on Jake Paul, warning that he'll demolish Jake's boxing career, stirring up a storm in the boxing community. What exactly provoked the fierce Tyson? Let's break it all down. Stick around until the end. Things need to be said as they are. 4 years in celebrity boxing don't make you a true contender, but Jake Paul doesn't seem to agree. He's been seen all over the internet bragging about defeating MMA fighters and retired athletes as if he's the next face of pro boxing. He's been taunting Tyson in interviews, shooting countless arrows at the ever-reserved legend, just when we thought Tyson would ignore those taunts. Considering he's above all that, he unleashed a verbal knockout at a press conference in Arlington, Texas, in front of millions. Tyson's words were so fierce that we imagine Jake locked himself in a room and cried his eyes out afterward. This was no regular comedy show.
I don't know if he's in his prime. He's fat. He should be lean and mean. He's fat and funky. I saw him with his shirt off the other day. He's fat. Did you start training already?
Everyone knows Tyson's reputation in the boxing community. It's no child's play. Typically quiet until provoked past his limit, Tyson strikes without mercy when pushed. He publicly roasted Jake Paul, causing significant emotional damage that will take time to recover from. Tyson even alleged that Jake's past wins were staged, claiming to have proof. We'll discuss that later in the video. In an interview, Tyson called out Jake's victories, claiming the fights were rigged and opponents were paid to take a dive. Tyson didn't stop there. He also questioned Jake's boxing skills, stating his footwork is sloppy, his punches lack power, and his defense is almost non-existent. To Tyson, the idea that Jake could ever be a real contender, let alone challenge someone like him, was laughable. Tyson pulled receipts, including documents and testimonies from insiders, to support his claims about Jake's fixed fights. These revelations shook the boxing community, casting doubt on Jake's entire boxing career and raising serious concerns about the integrity of the celebrity boxer. Meanwhile, social media is out of control following the drama. Fans are divided, with some praising Tyson for speaking his truth and others defending Jake, arguing that Tyson's attack is driven by jealousy or a desire to stay relevant. Memes and hashtags are trending, turning this boxing feud into a full-blown internet spectacle.
Day 2, we're getting ready for you.
Tyson has a history of crushing bones, and his current age doesn't seem to change any of that. Coming at the great Mike Tyson should send shivers down your spine, because there will be consequences one way or another. Even Joe Rogan once mentioned that Tyson's punches feel like getting hit by a truck. This means one thing: this isn't ending anytime soon. Tyson's response at the Arlington press conference was a masterclass in verbal smackdowns, leaving Jake looking like a lost sheep. Tyson boasts one of the fiercest records in history, with 44 knockouts in 58 fights, becoming the youngest heavyweight champion at just 20. Not too shabby, right? On his podcast, Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson Tyson didn't mince words. I'm going to destroy him, plain and simple. This isn't a game. He laughed off Jake's boxing career, saying he hasn't yet faced a real fighter. And Tyson isn't far from the truth. Tyson's name is synonymous with brutality and power, and his training regime is no joke. Coach Rafael Cordero has mentioned Tyson's relentless work ethic and ability to out-train boxers half his age, making it clear that this fight is anything but some random high school shenanigan. The gap in experience and skill between Tyson and Jake is glaringly evident. Tyson's response at the Arlington press conference was a knockout blow to Jake's raised shoulders. Jake has been coasting on victories over non-boxers, but he's now facing a real living legend who would feast on him, even before the bell rings. As Tyson prepares to enter the ring, the world watches, knowing that Jake has provoked a true beast of the ring. Jake's victories over non-boxers might have given him confidence, but standing against Tyson is an entirely different challenge. The world watches with bated breath, aware that Jake has poked a bear and will now face the consequences.
You really thought I was partying? We out here, high altitude, Colorado Springs, with the Olympians Team USA Boxing. Let's get it. Let's go.
Fans are closely observing that this isn't a joke. Mike Tyson is prepping like he's in his prime, while Jake trains under BJ Flores using modern high-tech methods. Yet, Jake has never faced a fighter like Tyson. Tyson emphasized that high-tech training can't replicate the experience of a real boxing legend. While Jake's tech-savvy training might make for good social media content, Tyson's raw power and old-school grit are what truly make a champion. As Tyson points out, experience in the ring isn't something you can hack.
It's one thing to fight athletes, another thing to fight KSI. What in the hell went through your mind when you said, you know what, I want to fight Mike Tyson?
I love the biggest challenges in the world. That's what's made my whole entire career, is taking big risks.
The press conference crackled with tension as two figures from different boxing eras faced off. Jake Paul, buoyed by victories over non-boxers and a legion of social media followers, exuded youthful confidence, his words charging the atmosphere. Across from him, Mike Tyson, a titan of pro boxing, radiated a quiet intensity that spoke volumes. His career, marked by victories over legendary names, cast a long shadow over the proceedings. Each word Tyson spoke carried the weight of decades spent in the ring, each heavier than the last. Amidst the media frenzy, Evander Holyfield, Tyson's former rival, and now a sage voice in boxing, cautioned that Paul was underestimating Tyson, emphasizing that Tyson is not just a name from the past.
They say he's the baddest man on the planet, so let's find out. Apparently he's the final boss, moving up to heavyweight and continue to prove all these dumbasses wrong. That's what I do my whole entire life.
Unshaken, Jake continued his provocations on social media, boldly claiming he's the future of boxing, and that Tyson's time is over. His words reverberated through the boxing world, stirring debate and drawing criticism from fans and enthusiasts who see Tyson as an irreplaceable icon. As the fight approaches, all betting odds heavily favor Tyson, reflecting a consensus among fans and experts alike that experience and proven ability in the ring outweigh Paul's bravado. Analysts, seeing all the stunts pulled by Paul, dissected his strategy as a heavy distraction targeted at Tyson. Lennox Lewis, another boxing great, remarked, "Paul's poking a lion he can't control." This struck a chord, as Tyson's rigorous training regimen hinted at a resurgence, reminding everyone that age hadn't dulled the fire that made him a feared opponent in his prime. Amidst the anticipation, the boxing world holds its breath. Will Paul's youthful exuberance match Tyson's seasoned mastery? Only the fight will reveal the answer. The boxing ring represents a stark departure from the comfortable world of social media where Paul thrives. Tyson's punches are not mere strikes. They are formidable enough to send an opponent to another world. The impact of Tyson's blows is so devastating that opponents count themselves lucky to leave the ring breathing, even if their bones are in pieces. Paul is clearly not facing the harsh reality before him, which calls for concern. Tyson's punches are not just normal. They combine power and precision. Jake Paul's drama may have stirred up the boxing community and kept his name trending, but it did little to prepare him for the daunting challenge ahead. All those talks will only end online. Reality happens in the ring with the legend. Tyson's history of taking down opponents isn't merely a string of victories. It's a testament to his unmatched skill and strength. When Tyson faced Larry Holmes in 1988, the former champion was knocked out in the fourth round, despite his resilience and power. While Paul keeps teasing Tyson, the seriousness of the situation he is getting himself into becomes more apparent. This is not just another exhibition on YouTube. It is a genuine fight against one of the greatest boxers ever. Jake has consistently approached boxing with an attitude that fails to fully understand its gravity. He seems to have impulsively challenged Mike Tyson, not fully grasping the consequences. In 1997, Jake was only 27 years old, raised in a world dominated by social media, which can warp one's sense of reality. Let's look at this. Jake Paul's boxing career is strategically planned and executed precisely, and very telling. He has been very careful to avoid fights with real professional boxers, opting instead to choose opponents mainly from different fields. Jake set the stage in his first fight by defeating YouTuber Digi Olatunji, who did not have any professional boxing background, with a TKO in the 5th round. Following that, there were additional high-profile matches, with Jake facing non-boxers to generate as much public interest as possible, which he did, by the way. He quickly defeated another YouTuber, Ansongib, with a first-round TKO, and then famously knocked out ex-NBA player Nate Robinson in the 2nd round in November 2020. Even though Robinson had a strong history in sports, being a champion in the NBA, he did not have any experience in boxing. Jake's next opponent was Ben Askren, a former MMA fighter recognized for his wrestling skills rather than striking capabilities. Jake triumphed over him in the initial round. Jake Paul's progress in boxing seems carefully planned to maximize public excitement and interest rather than focusing on authentic boxing. His meticulously selected record prompts discussions about the quality of his opponents and his actual boxing abilities when facing experienced professionals. Jake Paul has been very intentional in choosing his opponents. He's avoided real danger by avoiding bouts with experienced professional boxers. This intentional approach has allowed him to establish a remarkable track record without facing real challenges. Jake has transformed his fights into extravagant media events that bring in substantial pay-per-view earnings by leveraging his fame. Although there is controversy surrounding his approach, Jake's strategy has proven effective. He holds a boxing record of 9 victories, 6 by KO, and 1 loss. Nevertheless, these triumphs have only been achieved against non-professional boxers. This has led to much criticism in the boxing world, as many doubt the validity of his achievements. Jake Paul clearly follows a pattern observed in society, seeking quick and effortless paths to the top. In his boxing career, he has found success and wealth without experiencing the usual difficulties and struggles of the sport. Jake has strategically selected his opponents, allowing him to achieve fame without conforming to the sport's usual expectations, prompting discussions about the legitimacy and worth of his success. Although his boxing career has skyrocketed quickly, it is primarily due to carefully chosen opponents and publicity, rather than actual boxing abilities. As Jake prepares to confront Tyson, the world will witness if his methodical strategy can endure the harsh reality of battling an experienced champion. This is why Jake Paul has constantly been the focal point of scandal, particularly concerning the legitimacy of his fights. In any case, we're here to experience Tyson and Jake's clash in the ring to know the best way to end this debate. Mike Tyson's career is marked by his fierce power and unmatched skill, with a history of devastating opponents. Tyson's rigorous training regimen and relentless work ethic make it clear that he is still a formidable force, even at his age. His punches are known for their bone-crushing impact, and his experience in the ring is unparalleled. Tyson's words at the Arlington press conference carried the weight of decades spent in the ring, and his quiet intensity spoke volumes. Jake Paul, on the other hand, has built his boxing career on carefully selected opponents and high-profile matches that generate public interest. While his strategy has brought him fame and success, it has also led to criticism and doubts about the validity of his achievements. Jake's provocations on social media and his youthful confidence have kept him in the spotlight, but they have not prepared him for the challenge of facing a true boxing legend like Tyson. The upcoming fight between Tyson and Paul is not just another exhibition match. It is a genuine test of Paul's abilities and strategy. The boxing world holds its breath, wondering if Paul's methodical approach can withstand the reality of facing an experienced champion. Tyson's raw power, old-school grit, and unparalleled experience make him a formidable opponent, and Jake's carefully crafted record may not be enough to overcome the challenge. As the fight approaches, all betting odds favor Tyson, reflecting the consensus among fans and experts that experience and proven ability in the ring outweigh Paul's bravado. Analysts have dissected Paul's strategy as a distraction targeted at Tyson, but the seriousness of the situation is becoming more apparent. Lennox Lewis's remark that Paul's poking the lion he can't control resonates as Tyson's rigorous training regimen hints at a resurgence, reminding everyone that age hasn't dulled the fire that made him a feared opponent in his prime. In the end, the boxing ring represents a stark departure from the comfortable world of social media where Paul thrives. Tyson's punches are not mere strikes. They are formidable enough to send an opponent to another world. As the world watches this highly anticipated clash, we will finally see if Jake Paul's strategy can endure the harsh reality of battling a true boxing legend. Until then, share your thoughts in the comments, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for further updates. See you in the next video.